Let's imagine I'm on the street and some guy's like, I'm about to fight you. And you just fully take off your bottoms. What is he going to do?
Never mind.
Yeah. Like if somebody's like, I'm going to get you, boy. And then the shorts and the compression shorts come off. I step out of it and then I'm just running towards you I'm just flapping around. Are you really going to engage with me? So no pants do equal a tactical edge. Welcome to Sat Chats Rehash, the Bitcoin podcast where we chatting about sats. Today we're going to be going over number 56, Marissa, big one.
Yeah.
Number 57, Lynn, and number 58, Amanda. So this is a nice triptych of ladies on the show here today.
Triptych.
I will be your host, Stuart Bitcoin Maxi, who wears prescription sunglasses to protect you and your loved ones from my Bitcoin laser home.
And I'm your co-host, Chris, founder and CEO of Ithaca Hummus, Bitcoin Smash Buyer. Smash the subscribe button on our YouTube channel.
Good.
Get yourself entered to win a 10 million sats.
10 million.
If you're the first 100,000 subscribers.
Freaking 0.1 Bitcoin.
We're not playing. And we are also on the road to number 99, Kristen. Coming
Steadily
up.
Approaching.
Any update on that?
No.
Okay.
But see, my time preference is low. And what I do is I'm like this, and then I'm like, Skoo!
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm not like just, I'm looking, and then it's like, Baha!
You're a coiled cobra ready to strike at the
It's
most
like a magician
time.
dropping the card deck, and then you just skoo.
Yes.
Is that your card?
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, that was your card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm neutral, whether it's live or not.
You're detached from the outcome?
Yes. I think your initial idea of like having it be live on stage was really cool, because that sets a precedent for us like having like a road tour. But since that kind of bombed out, you know, if it's live, if she wants to do it live and like then there's like people chatting and stuff, that's great. If she needs, because we're both introverted, you know, if she needs to come talk about a scary subject with us, nice and easy.
Well, it might actually be better pre-recorded for two reasons. Number one, if we use that, it takes up one of our live slots.
Yeah, and I feel like our live slots are for chatting about sats with our satillionaires.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Either way, we have 3 great episodes featuring ladies. And I got to give it up to Chris and to MJ, number 40, Anna Bevs, and DJ Jables on the tables, because you all really wanted to focus on women, specifically millennial women. And, you know, this like 50 episode push toward my wife has been like a really satisfying arc, you know? And I'm curious what we'll focus on afterward. If we'll continue focusing on millennial women, if we'll say, okay, it's summer break, give us all your teenagers before they start making minimum wage. They should know about Bitcoin. But here's the thing, dude. I also recognize that as soon as we're done with number 99, Kristen, you know what starts?
The clock to the next Kristen?
The road to number 99, Kristen.
Yeah.
Since she comes back every 9 months, we will continue training for the next showdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It keeps coming. It's amazing. Dude.
I love that about our show. And it's something that none of us have even had the joy of experiencing yet together.
I know. I've been recently getting very excited for number 1, Jessie, to come back on, because she was January. So she should come back on in like October or something, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting excited for the September, October timeframe, because that's when our guests start reappearing, and they won't be like trying to throw up.
Yeah. A little bit more.
Because they'll be able to focus their eyeballs.
Yeah.
So let's chat about number 56, Marissa.
Well, Marissa, I think this is by far my favorite performance by you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, you took the time to almost like act as if like you just got inside of her brain and you understood her And then you also had the common interest and the knowledge to speak in her language when it came to like fine art and history.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the way that it just kind of flowed, and you wove these examples and some historical like stories and things into the conversation. It was great, and I think she really appreciated that. It really resonated with her because there was a noticeable difference between the way that she arrived here and came into the studio and how she felt about you and us and this whole thing to how she feels now. And we've seen her since then.
Yeah.
I feel like she's starting to give us a little bit of a hug, you know, which feels good.
Well, in baseball, there's the concept of wins above replacement, WAR. Are you familiar with this stat?
I don't know.
It basically tracks, it goes beyond a baseball player's baseline stats to determine whether they make an impact on the game. You could have someone who's hitting home runs, who's getting on base, who's stealing bases, and the team is still losing games.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, how do you go past like the normal baseline of statistics to determine whether this guy is making a difference? And the term wins above replacement means if you were to take the average baseball player and swap him out for your player, how many more wins would you get with your player? So if you have like a pitcher who is the man, and you said, well, let me take the league average pitcher, put him on the mound and track his performance, your pitcher, if he has a 4 WAR, you would get 4 more wins out of a 162 game season with your
average
pitcher. Yes. So 4 wins above his replacement.
And is the replacement always the average?
It's just the standard guy.
Okay.
It's just the league average.
So it's basically like how many standard deviations away from the mean?
Maybe. That, I don't fully know what that means.
Okay.
But all I know is your WAR is how many more games your team wins in a year because of you specifically.
Okay.
Where am I going with that? Well, I feel like number 56, Marissa, is a win above replacement for me.
Yeah.
Because I was on fire. I remember coming into the studio and it was almost like the 3 Weird Sisters had already carved my fate. And the feeling of that win was like coming back in time and pre-pepping me up. Because I came in and I was on fire, dude. And I was just like throwing everything around. Then we sat down. I think I had a really good workout that morning or something. And we just went hard.
Yeah.
And I think that if we had another Pallavi or another Michael where we couldn't connect, she would have taken the cash. That's what I mean by that. She was fully ready to take the cash. And I believe her form even said, pay me 50 in cash. But we met her where she was. And I loved that I love digging in a way that where it's not clear where I'm going.
Right.
Because, and I'm like, just again, another question, more, again. And I'm trying to dig down to where I can be like, here it is.
Yeah.
And I loved that you knew where I was going too. Because I'm like, man, I got a talented co-host over here as well. So you did well on that show too.
Well, thank you.
Let's see what Chappie thought about the show. All right. Episode 56, Marissa, money, math, phobia, and the liberal arts. Thoughts and feelings. Best bits. The salt to salary origin story is a great on-ramp for beginners. Marissa's liberal arts angle lets you weave culture into a money chat in a way that's instantly relatable. Pacing. The salt gold Renaissance riff is fun, but at about 25 minutes, it risks losing non-history buffs before Bitcoin even appears. A mid-segment why this matters for your wallet breadcrumb would keep momentum. I mean, we really only said Bitcoin like at the absolute end.
Yeah, but the Bitcoin standard is that way too. And that's what makes it so good.
And I love swinging, like I love going out on a limb. Like I love swinging so wide. You're like, where is he even going? And then you pull it all back in.
Well, the build up to the aha moment determines how impactful the aha moment actually is.
Yeah.
At least partially.
For sure. For sure. I feel like we really won Marissa.
Yeah. If you weren't patient enough to stick around through the history lesson, then maybe you need to take a look at your own time preference.
Ooh, spacey. Chemistry, your easy banter lands. Marissa's math was my first hate line. And Stewart's, let's feed you a cinnamon apple after all that quinoa. Oh, dude, got genuine laugh out loud moments. All right, so let's hear what we got wrong here. Roman pay in salt. Legionaries may have received a salarium allowance linked to salt, but by the imperial period, they were overwhelmingly paid in coin. Well, guess what, Chappie? Which time period was I talking about? Huh? I ain't talking about no Roman Empire, girl. Talking about the Roman Republic, okay? How about you go review the transcript, girl? Talking about, no pants equals a tactical edge. First of all, this is true in real life, okay? Just look at Donald Duck, all right? And by the way, let's imagine I'm on the street and some guy's like, I'm about to fight you, and you just fully take off your bottoms. What is he gonna do?
Never mind.
Yeah. Like if somebody's like, I'm gonna get you, boy, and then the shorts and the compression shorts come off, I step out of it, and then I'm just running towards you I'm just flapping around. Are you really gonna engage with me?
Yeah.
So no pants do equal a tactical edge.
And you were in the episode, we were talking about how the Roman soldiers,
they kind of had like a skirt that they wore.
Yeah.
She says the Roman tunica plus cingulum wasn't a conscious speed hack relative to opponents in trousers. Both Britons and Persians often fought unpanted too. Yeah. Dude, pants? Who needs them? Pants, really? I mean, why do we have to wear pants when other people get to fight not wearing pants for free? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. But it was a tactical edge, Chappie. Stop playing. The French Medici, because I mentioned that there was like some type of Medici in France that was, sponsoring the Impressionists, right? So let's see what she says. The Medici patrons were Florentine. I get it. That's why I'm saying the French version of the Medici. Chappie, oh my God, which one is this? Which one are you, girl? This is 03. Okay. France had its own financiers, e.g. de Bethune, and then Fuggers.
Oh, dirty motherfuggers.
Dude, what if your last name was Fuggers? Who's your... Hey, my name's Steve Fuggers.
Get out of here, Fugger.
Dude, that's so bad. It was probably Fugay if it was in... But it says later in Augsburg, but no French Medici. Girl, you don't even know what I'm trying to say. Every developed nation used gold from 1850 to 1900s. Close, but France and most of the Latin monetary union remained bimetallic until the 1870s, and Spain lingered on silver well into the 1880s. A quick nod to those wrinkles would tighten the industry. Tighten history. No, that's important, actually, because even though Saifedean and me as well on this episode talk about these nations being on a gold standard, they were on a gold and silver standard. And this is actually important to point out because in 40 centuries of wage and price controls, they showed that having two standards creates problems. Because whenever silver was up, they would sell it to buy gold lower. Whenever gold was up, they would sell it to buy silver lower. And you got speculation between gold and silver that just confused everything and created arbitrary...
Arbitrage.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. And that, it's just better to have one killer currency. It's Bitcoin.
Makes sense.
So, appreciate that, chaps. You definitely need to double check your work, girl, because I'm right. Up next, number 57, Lynn.
So Lynn and her husband were Bitcoiners.
Mm-hmm. What can you remember about her?
I mean, she was pretty bullish on Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband tried to pay
there you go
an artist in Bitcoin, and he actually like worked really hard to make the deal happen
and to make it risk-free. If it's down in a year, I'll make you whole.
Yeah, I'll pay you the difference in cash.
Exactly. literally a no risk option to get paid in Bitcoin.
It's kind of surprising. Like an artist, and maybe it's because of the association, the neural pathway that I've developed of like NFTs, artists, and digital assets, that I feel biased towards like, well, artists must be more likely to be an early adopter of something like Bitcoin.
I think there are many artists who don't like risk. And there are many artists who reject technology as the downfall of their artwork, you know, and like technology and AI is cheapening and copying everything. And there's many reasons why an artist might reject a digital money. So anyways, that was the story that stood out to me, because the episode is really great for people Lynn's age, if you ask me, who aren't ready to grab a pair of prescription sunglasses and flip on their Bitcoin laser eyes. Because even though she was all about Bitcoin, it was only a piece of her portfolio. And she had real estate as well. I think she really pushed the retirement accounts as well, maxing out your retirement accounts.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with diversifying your portfolio to include a mix of traditional assets that meet your comfort zone and a couple of percentage points into Bitcoin. Because Chris and I have a time preference that's so low, we know that over the next 9, 10, 11 years, you'll go, ooh, whoa, those handful of points I put into Bitcoin have eaten the rest of my portfolio, eaten it up. And then you'll get to where we are now, which is Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. So it's a nice balanced like look, because I don't know, I guess a Bitcoin standard is a big sale.
What do you mean?
I had to read a whole book to get there. And that takes more than one 45-minute conversation.
Right.
And you have to learn economics. You have to learn money properties. Yep. You have to learn history. You have to also be able to scry out into the future.
Yep.
Digital, space travel, virtual worlds. I mean, it's a heavy lift to adopt a Bitcoin standard and say, oh, my traditional assets are not good enough.
Right.
The only true option to exponentially accelerate generational wealth is Bitcoin. And you need Bitcoin to be your money before you go looking for ways to make more money with that money. That's my personal view. You need to be, if you are out here in this top layer with a 401k, IRA, self-directed IRA, where's my girl at? Megan?
Yeah.
Without an A, not Megan with the ex-husband, Megan, the CPA. If you're in that land, real estate, where Megan was putting $20K to get herself a house, you know, to be, if you're in that area, all of that, in my opinion, needs to be melted down, placed into Bitcoin until you are fully on a Bitcoin standard. All you have is Bitcoin plus a credit card. Or if you're like the pharmacist James, number 47, you have 3 months of cash reserves in case Bitcoin is dipping when you need to pay off your credit card. Because then you pay off your credit card with your cash reserves. And then when Bitcoin pumps, you refill your cash reserves. I like that too.
It's very smart.
It's not as manly as Simple Steve's style, but it's still like, a really Simple Steve's. That is just like macho man. It's all coming out in the wash. He is the macho man, Randy Savage. Yeah, dude, that guy is the man. Yeah, I love Simple Steve.
We'll see him tonight.
Yeah. So what am I saying here? Once you've melted everything down to a Bitcoin standard, then you could say, all right, do I want to exchange some Bitcoin for a down payment on a house? Because I still want real estate. Fine. Or do I want to put some of my Bitcoin up as collateral to get some cash to that? For me, it's like, you need your y'all up here trying to make more money with your money. Your money's the wrong money.
Yeah.
Come down here. You have 3 choices: Bitcoin, gold, or paper. Basically, your three options is Bitcoin, metal, or paper, aka Bitcoin, gold, or government tokens. You know, which one do you want? There's really only one option when you think about it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Out of your three options, you got one real option. Then you can come back up top. So, anyways,
I understand what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Which I didn't for a little bit of that monologue.
Yeah.
But let me just make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying, and I agree with this, if this is your position, you are saying that if you're trying to use your paper money to make more money, it's like trying to swim upstream. Why don't you turn your boat around, exchange all your paper money for Bitcoin, which already kind of gets you going the right way.
Yes.
And then proceed with your money-making activities once you've got your money right.
Yes. Y'all aren't, you need to back up and make sure you're picking the correct money first.
Yeah.
Then go do what you want to do with that money.
Yeah.
Whether you want to save it, spend it, or invest it, you need the right money first. But you're not going to get there straight away.
Yeah. That's going to take time.
So Lynn's take was a good, clean, healthy, diversified take, and we can be happy with that. And we can be happy with people learning from her and saying, yeah, because I do think most people's initial step will be a small one.
So on a scale of -5 to 5, -5 being pre-coiner, 5 being maxi, she might have been hanging out at like a -1 or something.
I would put her at like a 1.
A 1.
I think you need to be at a 1 to have some Bitcoin.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And she has some Bitcoin.
She's gotten off 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So let's see what the chat master thought. So what does old chat master say? She says episode 57.
I love these
Lynn,
critiques.
Entrepreneurial diversification and dollar cost averaging. Thoughts and feelings. Best bits. Lynn's sell your art for upside Bitcoin. I'll cover the downside anecdote is pure retellable gold.
I remembered it.
I would call it pure retellable Bitcoin, but that's just me.
Yeah, true.
And you did remember it. And I was waiting. I was trying to see if you would remember that.
Yeah.
And you remembered it.
Yeah.
Tone shift. The Roth conversion mini consult felt like a cozy after show Q&A. Nice break from the higher octane style of number 56. Yeah, dude, I was turbocharged.
Yeah.
That's probably the most amped I've been on any single episode.
We need to figure out how to get you there every time.
Man. Helping people see what they're looking at truly for the first time lights me on fire. I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Live your values hook. Her Italian apartment for lifestyle ROI is a killer illustration of why wealth preservation matters. Yeah, she was chilling.
Yeah.
She was going to go live over there in Italy. Oh.
What?
Yes, sir. Do you know who loves Italy? And who would love to have enough wealth to buy herself an apartment there to just go over whenever she wants and have that lifestyle?
99.
Oh,
The beloved,
yes,
the
dude.
beloved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, the keys, man, they're clicking into place, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, and how gnarly would it be if it's pre-recorded, if it's like, no matter what it is, if you and I can get the team to pull clips that show up right here, we're like, hey, babe, we want you to hear a little message from number 57 Lynn. Bam,
all right.
Italian lifestyle, blah, blah, blah.
Dim the lights. Let's roll the clip.
Yeah, dude. Because how much do you think she's going to discount something that comes out of my mouth?
Don't take my word for it.
Don't take my word for it. Yes, dude. She says that to the kids.
Yeah.
And to the kids at
Does
the
she?
elementary. Yeah.
She says, don't take my word for it?
Yes, because we all grew up with LeVar Burton doing the Reading Rainbow.
Oh, yeah.
That's where that comes from.
Is it?
Yes, he would tell you all the books, what was cool about the book. He said, but don't take my word for it. Then they would start reading the thing to you so that you could.
All right. This is actually, okay. when we were starting this podcast,
Yeah.
I think we all went into this deep primary research phase. We were in a discovery mode. What's this world about? How do people do it? One of the tips that I saw was have the name of the episode in mind before you tape it.
Yeah. I remember. And that was really smart.
Don't take my word for it.
Oh.
We got a theme now, baby. We got a theme now.
Don't take my word. Because you know what she thinks about my word?
It sucks.
She hates my word.
She hates your word.
She discounts my words, not 10%, not 50%. She discounts them 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. And bless her, she has good reason.
Yeah.
She has almost 2 decades of reason.
You're using the wrong money in those conversations.
Because what are my words worth to Kristen? Nothing. Right? But what if she doesn't need to take my word for it, dude? Oh my goodness.
What if you don't say a single word the whole episode?
What if I'm just like this? Bam! And then it's like click next, right? Holy smokes. So we absolutely need the Lynn clip where she has some freaking Italian stuff. You know, Chris is going to say, well, she only has a little bit of Bitcoin. But that's okay. This is a great idea, dude. Even though I can already tell how she's going to punch holes in that. It's fine. It's still great.
We got a concept.
Holy smokes. Yes, dude. Amazing. Thumbnail. Don't take my word for it. Episode title. Did she take my word for it?
Yeah.
It has to be a question.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing, dude. All right. Some inaccuracies or fuzzy claims. Roth IRA income thresholds for 2025. The Magi phase out starts at 161K. Dude, I have no idea what that is. Backdoor Roth option omitted. Listeners over the limit can still fund a non-deductible traditional IRA plus convert. Dude, give me a break. Who literally wants to just buy Bitcoin?
Yeah.
That's so unbelievably complicated that it makes I can't even read. I can't even actually help y'all out with this information. It's just so complicated. Just friggin' get some Bitcoin.
Don't worry about the taxes.
Golly molly. All right, now, here comes a whopper, dude. Number 58, Amanda.
All right. I mean, there's a lot to say about this. Amanda was so well spoken. She is a trained speaker. And you can tell because the quality of her speech, the way that she tells stories, the way that she almost knows how to speak in like sound bites that are going to not need any editing.
Yeah.
And you can just blast out there. I felt that way when we were recording it. But then we've got an even further proof point of that when we posted one of her clips on our TikTok. Twitter?
I thought it was Instagram.
No, it's TikTok. You're both wrong.
Okay.
It's on TikTok.
Because you were talking about the likes. You were talking about the hearts. It got a bunch of hearts.
TikTok.
Okay.
140,000 views.
Yeah.
6,000 comments?
I thought it was 6,000 hearts.
6,000 hearts and something like,
several hundred
comments.
Yeah. About dollar dominance.
And look, I mean, it went viral. That was our first viral piece of social content ever. Yes,
which is incredible to think about. And she was engaged.
She had a position on, I would say her strongest position was females in crypto, but Bitcoin specifically, and why it matters for them specifically.
And her soundbite about women not being allowed to have their own bank accounts.
I mean, you've used that like 10 times since.
That actually reached Kristen.
Did it?
I showed that to Kristen, and that triggered her resentment toward men for basically discounting women's ability to not only do things but be a human being.
Yeah.
Kristen does not like being discounted just because she's a lady. And that clip, I showed her that clip where she's like, since women could only get bank account, I mean, it's only within the past 100 years, even in America, that a woman could have her own bank account without her husband attached to it. Women should be desperate to learn as much as they can about Bitcoin. And that got through to Kristen.
Yeah.
So bless you, Amanda, because she was super invested in number 99. And she talked about coming back to be her corner coach.
She did.
Yeah. And you're already her corner coach, Amanda, because that clip around, women being unbanked as recently as 100 years ago, that slapped.
Final thought on this one. Let's keep it curt.
I really like that she liked us. She thought we were adorable.
She did. She called us. Yeah.
And she promoted us on LinkedIn. She did like a press junket where she had Ithaca hummus. She was crunching on it. And
she bought it. She went out and bought it.
Yeah.
She really did.
I hope her book is crushing. And I still need to read it because it sounded like there was a bunch of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
So let's see what the old chap has to say about Amanda's. And for somebody to go from prosecuting Bitcoiners to believing in Bitcoin is incredible. All right, Amanda, from prosecutor to Web3 advocate. Thoughts and feelings, best bits. Amanda's glass house versus brick house metaphor for blockchain transparency is instantly sticky. Remember that? Where she's prosecuting criminals using cash, and it's like looking into a brick house. She's prosecuting criminals using Bitcoin, and the transparent nature of Bitcoin is like a glass house.
Got it.
So she doesn't want criminals doing anything, but it's easier to track them when they're on Bitcoin than when they're on the freaking US token.
Yeah.
Her Publix/hummus riff is peak warmth.
Peak warmth.
Peak warmth.
We've reached peak warmth.
We reached pink warmth? That's not right. Family friendly.
Pinko de Gallo.
Peak warmth. Peak warmth. God, Mom, don't listen to this. All right. Authority plus approachability. Bouncing from Department of Justice stories to women in crypto empowerment gives the episode real range and credibility. Actionable Jim pointing the hosts to the women in crypto speaker directory is practical, not just rhetorical. So inaccuracies, fuzzy claims, Publix does not equal Kroger. Okay, appreciate that. Publix is an employee-owned chain headquartered in Lakeland, Florida. It is not a Kroger subsidiary. What are you talking about, chaps?
Move on.
Where are you going?
She's hallucinating.
What is she? Bitcoin transfers are anonymous. Bitcoin is pseudonymous. Every transfer is public and traceable with chain analysis, absent extra obfuscation tools. That might have been something that she said because we know they're not anonymous.
Yeah.
Unlimited Bitcoin for pennies. Feasible during low congestion windows, but fees spike with mempool load worth the caveat. I don't know what that was.
Well, it means...
Oh, maybe...
What the transaction fee that you offer.
Maybe she was saying that you can move Bitcoin around a bunch and it doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah.
And maybe for a criminal, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then here's a repeated minor slip from earlier shows. Can't buy anything with Bitcoin. Yeah, chaps, let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
When you say you can't buy anything with Bitcoin, that's a slip up.
Yeah.
So she says here, each episode hints that everyday purchasing is impossible, while still niche over 400,000 global merchants. And every major gift card portal now accepts Bitcoin. Boom!
All right, we got to keep that little factoid
That's
in our back pocket as a response.
400,000 global merchants, every major gift card portal. Mentioning even one concrete example, for example, Shopify plugins or Fold. That's the second time that's come up.
Yeah.
In future episodes, we'll keep skeptics honest. TLDR takeaways. Because we got just a scooch of time here. So here's some takeaways from Chappie for us, y'all. Episode flow. Try a mid-segment why this matters for you reminder whenever historical tangents run long. Golly, yo. Chappie saying I'm long-winded. Yo, Chappie, I'm in here doing work, Chap. Okay? I'm in here working, girl. Numbers age fast. Anything IRS limit-ish benefits from a quick on-screen graphic or footnote so the audio lives longer. See? Just keeping that evergreen in mind. I love that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Round out the guest pool. Lean on Amanda's speaker directory and similar lists for Global South voices to keep the hive, diverse and buzzing. Oh, Chappie even knows it's a hive.
Dang.
And that we're drones. We just drones over here, dude.
Sheesh.
Keep crushing the crunch. And as Amanda challenged, frame Bitcoin decisions as we thinking. Before episode 99, your final boss bout will be stronger for it.
Love it.
All right, so let's close it out here. Remember to smash the subscribe button for your chance at our 10 million sats giveaway. For everyone who is part of the million sats giveaway, you're already included. So don't not subscribe because that would hurt. You can also head to satchats.com to grab your slot in the studio today. We only shoot rehashes when we ain't got nobody to chat about sats with. Remember, Sat Chats is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as financial advice. Also, Chappie's views are her own. We will see you tomorrow.
No
Bye-bye.
peeing in the mempool.